Blessings. Snips is in my section. Yo, with all this money, I'm obsessive. Weapons. Turning off y'all extras. Turning off this bullshit direction. Turning up my grind. Waking up to more pressure. But it's all in your mind. So I never feel pressure. Know it's all in due time. Now 100 stacking like Tetris. Hustle hard.
Yo, what up people, it's your boy ThaLiveKing coming at you with a quick video. And in this video I kind of want to talk about the scenario engine from Madden 20. They announced it yesterday along with the cover athlete who is now can be a playable character in NBA Live 19. But anyways, if you don't know what the scenario engine is, the scenario engine is intended to create dynamic storylines week to week based on how you're playing, who you are, your record, your stats, and the personalities around you. It fires off stories that could be 1 week stories, but there are also several storylines that are branching. So, as you know, last year for NBA Live 19, they introduced narrative gameplay. But the narrative gameplay was just basically what was going on between the lines on the floor. When they announced it last year, I was actually wondering if, I was pretty much thinking to myself, okay, so they have narrative gameplay, but does it affect the rest of the game? Say if you're playing franchise, does it affect, like, you know, from one game to the next or whatever? But I don't think it did. It was pretty much just what was going on between the lines. So, but a lot of that stuff got toned down, so you kind of didn't really notice it. I kind of noticed it a lot more when I put the gameplay down to pro and I started playing that way. But it was just mainly what was going on that game, that situation, and that was it. So like if your player was playing bad, you know, he would look at the refs and stuff like that and looking to fight the refs and all that stuff. And if he was playing good, you know, he would tell the crowd to like silence and stuff like that. So there was little stuff in NBA Live that was similar to what they're calling now the scenario engine. So from what I was asking myself for NBA Live 19, if it was going to be just in the game, or is it just going to be part of a franchise as a whole? Madden has now, your whole franchise mode is basically this. Okay, I'm not sure. I got to double check to see if it's for just the career mode, or if it's just or is it actually for franchise. But anyways, same concept that applies. So I'm pretty much thinking like this looks like a goal for Madden. So NBA Live and Madden are kind of using the same, you know, resources and stuff like that. So what if they actually, you know, elevated narrative gameplay to something similar as this for NBA? Because there's a lot of stuff you can do with the data now that they have in these, that's out there pretty much in any sport. So they could bring all this stuff into NBA Live and try to create, you know, a good franchise experience, because you know, franchise is something that, you know, that's been lacking since, like, you know, since they came to next gen basically. But anyways, I'm kind of rambling, but like I said, the scenario engine is flexible enough to incorporate more variables as Tiburon sees fit. One thing we're excited about is planning to add content throughout the year. This will be the first time we've ever done updates to franchise throughout the season. So they went back and they actually, you know, coded in a way that they can update all this stuff in game. So what I always say about, you know, EA Sports games is you always have to see what one game does, and there's a possibility that they can bring that over to another game. That's why I always pay attention to what these other games are doing. So, you know, with NHL, a lot of the devs are playing NHL 3s. So I can speculate that, you know, 3-on-3 is going to be, you know, it's probably going to be more arcadey mode next year. And also, think about it. They got the new big heads for the NBA Street X that they're bringing into NBA Live 19 next week. So they're using stretch to promote it. And NHL, you can play with mascots, and the mascots have big heads, and it's a crazy arcade mode. So you have to look at these things just to see if they're actually gonna, pull it off. So there's a reason why they're doing this. So I'm gonna assume and speculate that NBA Live 20, the 3-on-3 mode, is gonna be like a crazy arcadic mode. Because like I said, if you play NHL 3s, that is so much. It's so much fun when you play not only with your character that you created, but also they also have a system where you can play with regular teams and rank up. Like, it's a lot of fun, man. It's something that I've kind of wanted. It's kind of like NBA Street. It's the same concept. So I'm assuming that's what they're gonna do next year. So, but a lot of the stuff that they're adding in Madden, like, you have to pay attention, man, especially if they're in the same studio. So, and they're also adding these superstar abilities, that's emboldened with the CPU competition. So they add a whole bunch of different animations that only certain players have. So, and that's something that we've wanted in NBA Live. So understand they've kind of differentiated players in terms of, the type of jump shots and stuff. Like LeBron's jump shot, they don't really have that jump shot on any other players, just little things like that. So I'm expecting, a similar concept going to NBA Live that they have with Madden. They had a quote here. It says, I feel like with franchise, a lot of people just play against the CPU and try to crank out Super Bowls and get to the draft, so they don't enjoy playing other people. But it felt like week to week there wasn't much of a difference who you played. You weren't really that scared about playing Tom Brady and the Patriots. So this comes down to another thing that I've also been saying, that over the time when you're playing these games, it's like, the CPU has to utilize the system properly, right? Anything that goes on that the CPU is doing, it should not only mimic real life, but you should be respectful of who you're up against. So, like I said, if you're playing LeBron James, and you're like the Brooklyn Nets and stuff like that, you have to be aware that you're gonna have to load up on LeBron James, and the CPU has to be smart enough to know that he's getting doubled, so he can read the defense and stuff like that. It all comes down to having a smarter game, and that's something that I talked about in the survey that they gave us. It's like, you have the foundation in NBA Live 19 with the gameplay and everything. All you gotta do is keep adding more to the gameplay. But if this game was a lot smarter in terms of what goes on between the lines, what goes on under the hood, what goes on in franchise mode, like, they really need to have a game where the computer can finesse you. Like, you have to be smart enough to deal with that. Like, that's the kind of stuff that I want in the game. That's a lot of stuff that other people want in the game. They want logic. You can probably even put a difficulty level with the logic depending on how good you are in negotiations and stuff like that. So that's just something that, that should be in the game. And it's something that, if they're not even thinking about it, that's something that they should look into, because, the gameplay, to me, is like right there. And you have to put a package together and make this game something that, when people look at NBA Live, a lot of people right now, they're like, man, the real ones don't play NBA Live. We're on 2K. So you have to do something with NBA Live to get those sim heads, I should call them sim heads, because they're basically like hardcore basketball guys, to come over to play NBA Live, because you want to challenge them mentally, right? You're gonna get the crowd already with the with the street modes and all that stuff. Like, that's pretty much what they've been pushing the last 2 years. So people know what to expect with that, right? So you tune the gameplay, you take away all the canned animations and stuff like that, and then you have great gameplay. But now you have the brains behind the gameplay. And to me, you already have great off-ball systems. You got great off-ball controls, play calling, and all that stuff. A lot of that stuff is better than what 2K has. So now you put the brains behind the game, and you've got a product that people can flock to and be challenged and have fun at the same time, right? So that's pretty much what I wanted to say. I'm just looking at most of the other stuff. And oh yeah, Madden has also, they put in a couple of, not a couple, but they put in a few college teams. That's another thing NBA Live can do. They can follow that blueprint. See, 2K has all this stuff in the game. They should just copy it and do whatever they want with it. They act like they don't have the money to do it. Like, they have the money. All they gotta do is do it and see where it goes, man. Because like I said, the one mode, like, they've been pushing it for 2 years. You know, a lot of people have fun with it. A lot of people play it. There's a lot of frustrations also with it. But there's the whole NBA side is like, it's just waiting to like blow up, right? So I'm gonna leave it at that. I don't think there's anything else that I was supposed to bring up. I might do a follow-up video. I just got back from seeing Avengers Endgame. I posted my thoughts on my Twitter. I'm not even going to talk about it on here, but yeah, I think I'm going to leave it at that. But the scenario engine is pretty much a upgraded version of the narrative gameplay that they introduced in NBA Live. So I'm looking forward to seeing how they bring this type of engine over to NBA Live, because I'm pretty sure they're going to do something similar. And you know, I'll follow up with another video. Alright, what do you guys think of the scenario engine? What do you guys think it can do for NBA Live franchise mode and stuff like that? Leave a comment down below. You know, I'm always in the comment section interacting with you guys, and I'll catch you guys on the next video. It's been a while since I've been podcasting or talking about anything. Been kind of busy, but you know, I always got time for people that comment on my videos and all my subs and everything. Alright, I'm out. Peace.
I gotta give myself some room to breathe. Patience. And if you really trying to win, you're gonna need patience. And if you really want the world, you gotta try. Patience. Yo,